There we go. All right, guys. We got a little bit of a time crunch. Got my CBD hat on representing tonight because I know everybody's going bananas with that right now.
Yeah.
So what we'll do? How many of you guys? This is your first ever Connect call training.
Mine.
My half.
Your half. So you did
half.
what? You did forming already, and you got to do closing.
No, I didn't. I haven't even done forming. We were the ones that were in the Walmart parking lot and kind of were in and out of one.
Oh, gotcha.
So I feel like it's my first, Barry. We're going to go with that.
All right. No problem. We will we'll roll with that. And then I see Sebastian and Megan. They've been on, I know, a few times as well, but
I have not.
oh yeah. Okay, so we got Megan. All right.
Hey, Megan.
Hello. I have to tell you guys, I have been putting this off forever. This makes me very uncomfortable. So
I think we're all in the same boat.
Join the crowd.
All right, and then I'm Margaret. All right. So what we'll do, ladies, since it's all ladies, normally I could say ladies and gentlemen, but it's all ladies tonight, which is good. It's all ladies, so everybody will do very, very well at the forming part. That's a given. Ladies, you guys are just better at it than we are. So what I'll do for all of you guys that want to take notes and such real quick, I'm gonna give you the bullet points that we like to accomplish. When we are doing a Connect call, and then from that, then we'll do some role play. So we'll go through the notes part pretty quick, and it's just bullet points, bumpers, if you will, to kind of keep you on track. And I do it in sequence. You know that there's a sequential benefit to doing it in this way, and so I'll give it to you in sequence. And really, the first thing is that your mindset is key. Again, this is something that you ladies are better at, right? It's not about discovering as much as it is about connecting. Obviously, when you're doing a Connect call for someone on your team, the person you might be connecting with could be a complete stranger to you. So there might be some discovering, some close-ended questions that you're going to have to ask. Just trying to get to know the person a little bit. But once you do, don't let that fizzle. Follow that up with open-ended questions, right? We want to connect, and the way to connect is with open-ended questions. Like if you ask, where they live or what they do for a living, then you ask, the next question will be, oh yeah, what got you into that, right? Because you want to get them to start, connecting. Again, this is many times a perfect stranger to you. So open-ended questions are where you want to go once you do some discovering. The best way, or the best pillars, if you will, that'll help you start to form a connection is using the form concept, right? Get them talking about family, occupation, maybe recreation or motivation, dreams, any of those things will start to give you context for a further conversation. And all of this is for what? This is for us to find ways that we can show them where our products or our opportunity or a combination of the two are going to benefit them. And so the only way to do that is to try to get to know them a little bit. Then the very next thing, and this is in sequence, after we do some forming, before we share our story, before we want to find out if they had a chance to see the video. And the question we want to ask, this is the question I still, to this day, this is what I use. And I've probably done 3,000 Connect calls now in the last 2 years. It's tell me what you liked best about the video, right? Tell me what was your favorite part, right? Because no matter what, it's a positive affirmation. So it gives you something to work with. Plus it also gives you some ideas to the direction you want to go with this prospect, right?
I have one quick question, Barry, on that note. On the video, are we assuming that they've watched the 4-minute liposomal advantage video, or is there a possibility that they would have watched something else and the brand partner tells us that when we're getting on the call with them?
If you've got a good brand partner, yes, they will edify when in the edification, they're going to let you know. If you don't, which is oftentimes the case, if somebody could be nervous, it could be just like you ladies. I mean, think about it. You've been in this for a little while and you were nervous to do this training tonight, right? Imagine going back to being your first, when you make your first phone calls, you might not do a good job at that. So you always want to ask first is, did you have a chance to watch the video? It's like, yeah. So tell me what you like best about that video. When if they start telling you what they like best about it, and you're like, oh yeah, I saw that thing and it was cool. You guys are drilling wells in Africa and it talked about your product. Then you're like, okay, that was the 5 pillars video. Wow, you got a great, right? Or they say, yeah, it was about CBD or liposome. So you'll know which one that they had done at that point, right? Obviously, if you guys are leaders, you're going to be familiar enough with the videos to identify. And maybe they'll even, at that time, your team member will tell you, so yeah, I sent them liposomal advantage. Right.
Okay.
And so they'll identify what they like most about that specific video. But again, if you've been edified well, and in that edification, your team member will let you know, look, I sent them the liposomal advantage video. I wanted them connected. So but good question. Good question. That'll manifest itself though 9 out of 10 times, right? Then this is the opportunity for you to share if you're going to share your story, right, which is what most people start out doing. If you're going to share your story, there's 4 key components we like to have in our story, right? It's where you were specifically when you saw this opportunity at first, right? If you were, I think you like if you use days, I think it was right when you guys were becoming empty nesters, right? And you were looking for something to get into, right? So you would say, hey, look, we were empty nesters, and we were looking for something to re-identify with and carry on with our purpose, right? That would be what we mean by where you were in your life when you saw this. Then it says what you did when you saw this amazing opportunity, and then what you saw, like when you saw this opportunity. Again, using Stacy, it's like, man, when we saw this opportunity, we saw something that aligned itself with our values, that we didn't have to abandon anything that we stood for, and we could go out and help a lot of people with, right? So that would be a way to say, or let's say if you're somebody that just got laid off and you saw this as an opportunity to have your own business and be your own boss and provide for yourself, whatever. And then the next question would be what you did when you saw this opportunity, right? I became a founder, or I came in with the business builder pack, right? Which is what this is an opportunity to convey that to someone, which always helps. And then where you're headed with it, where we're going is, look, we've already qualified for our first cruise or whatever. We want to travel the world with some people that are like-minded, and we want to get out and retire off of this, whatever. That's what you want to lead it out with, or leave it off with, is where you're headed with. Now, that is if you're leading with your story. Obviously, if you have been doing this for a little while and you know somebody who's almost identical has almost identical circumstances to the prospect that you're connecting with, right? Like say if you're connecting with a veterinarian, right? Then you're gonna, hey, look, man, we've got a lady on our team, Megan, her and her husband, he's a chiropractor. They've built a great business. They've been able to do some amazing things. They've been on trips, and she's a veterinarian and he's a chiropractor. And so they still were able, and 3 children, they were able to turn this into a profitable business. So if you know somebody that's more relatable to them, share the elements of that story, right? But if you use yours, identify those 4 components. Then once you've done that, you've formed a connection, you found some value points. My favorite thing to do, and I always tell people when you're first doing this, if you can do this, it'll keep you on track, is the old, if I fill in the blank, would you fill in the blank? So like last night when we did a connect, and the lady tells me, it's like, yeah, once she saw the video she said, yeah, I was really interested in the cream. That's really all I saw with the video, and that's what jumped out at me was just the cream, right? So obviously we're connecting with people because we want to show them the business first and then just talk about the cream. My question to her was, awesome, Diane. if I show you how you can get that, how you can have that cream and be able to get it on a monthly basis for free, would you be open to that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if I, would you, right? You know, if I show you a way that you can do that and accomplish this, would you be open to it, right? So if I, would you is what I always like to do. And last but not least is the last bullet point, the most important one. When you're doing a connect call for your team, you are a leader. You're expected. You're being looked at by your team member as someone that's going to help them business. So it's your responsibility to always ask or take the lead on the final steps. If someone is teed up, they're like, yeah, man, let's do it. I'm in. And you know what? This sounds awesome. If this is somebody that's brand new on your team, what I do, if it's somebody that's brand new, is I go through, I get their information to enroll that you need to enroll them with, right? You take the lead on that. If the next step is they would like some more information, they need to know about the comp plan, they want to know this, whatever else, you want to always make sure that your team leader is going to get them that information and you're setting up the follow-up. If they want to place a product order because they want to share a product, try a product, and then that's going to make their final decision, get the information to walk them through to get that product order placed. Always take the lead on that last step. If someone's remotely interested, you should always ask for some form of a sale, right? Because again, this is your people are looking up to you to help them build their business. So you always want to ask something to walk them through the next steps, even if it's just for a follow-up call, right? So those are your bullet points. Now we want to put it in the action. Is there anyone on this call that doesn't know each other very well? Is everyone kind of spread out? I know we have Margaret. I think she's in San Antonio. Megan's in Jacksonville. Stacy is in. Are you in Houston or Austin? Austin. And then Diane, I'm not sure, where are you?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay. And are you familiar? Awesome.
Yes.
Are you familiar?
I do not know Margaret or Megan.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's connect. Let's see. Megan, are you up for it?
Sure, why not?
Because
we'll pray for you, Megan. We're all scared, so it's all good.
That's right.
So,
we're all newbies, okay?
That's right. So listen, if you're just gonna go right through, what I'll do is, Megan, you could be my leader. Diane, you could be my prospect.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna edify Megan. Megan, at that point you'll walk through. You're gonna be the leader. You're gonna go through Diane. I'll have my video going. As long as you don't see me do timeout and jump out here or whatever else, keep going with it. I'm gonna set my little timer here. So a forming, again, women are a lot better at this than men. A good forming, especially with you're going to be edified well, 2 to 4 minutes is pretty suitable, right? That's really all it is. So if you feel like you've been going for a little while, you want to start moving through the steps, right? 2 to 4 minutes is plenty enough time for forming. And then the only other thing I'll tell you, Megan, is remember, use that video to help guide you on how to best convey your story or similar. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go through. Megan, we're gonna dial you up. Okay, Diane.
Okay.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Diane, how are you? Barry here.
Oh, hi, Barry. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Listen, thanks again for taking a look at this opportunity that I'm super excited to share with you tonight. What it's done for Crystal and I is far beyond what we had expected, and I know that you guys are up there in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's really something that I know I would love to see you guys locked on with us, because I know the quality of people you are. And what I did, just as a reminder, is I said I was going to have some leadership on the phone call today. So what I did was I dialed in, first and foremost, a dear friend of mine, Megan Castelli. She's in Jacksonville. She's a veterinarian out in Jacksonville with her husband, Sebastian, who is a chiropractor with 3 kids. They've built an amazing business. They're wonderful people. And I really wanted to connect you with her so she can kind of, share your story, answer some questions, and give you a different perspective, if you will, as to how this is working for people, not just myself.
Sure.
So Megan, this is Diane. She's in Raleigh, North Carolina. She's a friend of a friend. She's awesome. And Diane, this is Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Hey, Diana. It's really nice to talk to you.
Great to talk to you too.
Did I hear that you're in Raleigh?
I am in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow, have you lived there long?
Yes, a very long time.
I love Raleigh. I've visited there a few times. I've never lived there, but it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you have what do you do up there?
Well, I work from home. I do have a great job. And my husband is a private investigator, so he is home a lot, like in and out. So I'm a grandma. I have 3 grandchildren. I have a great church. I love being here.
That's great. That's great. You said your husband's a private investigator. That sounds like an interesting job.
Yeah, we could talk all day about that, but I guess we can't.
You're probably not supposed to talk about that.
I know. I have a few crazy stories.
Oh my.
Oh, boy.
How old are the grandbabies?
11, 9, and 6.
Oh wow, that's very similar to my little one's ages. My oldest is 12, my middle is 10, and my little one is about to be 4.
Oh,
Such fun ages.
precious times. I love it.
It is. It's great. It's great. You said you work from home. Does that give you a lot of time to be with the grandbabies?
It does allow a lot of little, yes. Yes. I can sneak it in more. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, what do you do from home? Is it computer-based, phone-based?
Yes, it's computer-based. It's all web-based. And so it kind of seems like I would be able to, that's why I'm kind of interested in this.
Yeah.
Like I would be able to work it in.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Is it sounds like you're already pretty much set for something along these lines. So I was kind of trying to feel that out there.
Yeah.
Were you able to watch the video that Barry sent you?
Yes, I really like the liposomal video. That's pretty interesting stuff.
Okay. Were you familiar with liposomes before that?
I never heard that word before, ever. So
I'm assuming from what you said that's kind of what spoke to you the most was the liposomes.
Yeah. Because like I didn't. I mean, everybody claims to have really good vitamins and things like that, but this sounds like it might be better.
Right, and it is actually what makes this company stand out compared to a lot of the other companies out there. And it's interesting because it's sort of the beginning of the story for how my husband and I came into Viseo. My husband is a chiropractor, but he also is a chiropractic neurologist, and he practices functional medicine. So he is one of those doctors who sees those patients where, basically the medical profession has said, well, there's really nothing left for me to do for you.
Wow.
I'm kind of at the end. So they come to him at that point. And a friend of ours presented his company to us, and he did his due diligence and did his research. And, he was familiar with liposomes, but in the medical field. And he learned about these products and the purity of them and everything that they have set out for us, that he said it was a no-brainer for him. He has been approached by so many companies through his career, and a lot of them have really great products, but none of them had what Viseo had to offer. And he just said, this is it. I can give this to my patients. I can actually do this. And he actually jumped in before I did. He jumped in at first. He bought in as a founder, which was, the best way you could go at that time. And a few months later, I saw the benefits of it and jumped in myself. But I gotta say, we've already gotten to the point where I'm now home with my babies, which, I love my career, but my heart was at home, and I've been able to do that.
So you quit being a veterinarian?
I have temporarily,
Wow.
taken some time off, and
Okay.
I homeschool my oldest right now.
Okay.
I have homeschooled all of them at some point over the last 2 years.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm home with them, which I love, and we've gone on a cruise with Viseo that was all paid for, which is nice. We've been out to Utah for a trip with Viseo, and we're planning to go on many, many, many more trips with our friends that we have come to. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. So you said, you work from home and you feel like this is something you could fit in. So it sounds like you're very interested in the business side. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we were already thinking about looking at maybe a product for weight loss after the holidays. There's always that holiday 10 pounds. And then we're actually looking and praying for something for us to do together. Okay. So it just seemed like it was just the answer to prayer, but
I know exactly what you mean, and I can relate to that. It was sort of a divine intervention when we found it too. And for me, the biggest thing, aside from being home with my kids, I realized that working with my husband had brought back something for us that I hadn't realized was missing. So that has been really big for us as well. And it's really neat that you have already figured that out and you guys were searching for that. So it's pretty cool. I think you might be in the right place. So, sorry, I didn't know if you could hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay. I keep
the screen moved, but I can hear you.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's a great place for you to be. There's probably I would imagine as you move forward there may be some questions, but if you guys were already looking for something and Barry was kind of showed you that this solution was something that could work for you both health-wise as well as financially, then it sounds like you might be ready to move forward, and I'd be more than happy to help you with that today.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what do you have to buy? What do you have to do?
Well, the two separate questions there. As far as purchasing, there's a $49 enrollment fee, and that's the one-time fee to get you your spot in the company. And then what you want to do from there is you want to pick the package that works for your family. The builder packs are wonderful because it gives you both product to use as well as product to share with people and to get it in their hands quickly. And there's a whole number of packages you can look at from there. And Barry, I'm sure, will be more than happy to send you the enrollment form that shows you all the different packages you have to choose from. But, in the meantime, while you're discussing that, what we could do is there's just a minimal amount of information we need to get. It's fairly simple. It's pretty straightforward stuff, and we can go through that, and I can get that stuff from you. And then you could look at the enrollment forms with your husband, and then you and Barry could get the rest of the ball rolling there.
Okay.
All right, good. We'll jump out here. So good job, Megan. The only where do you feel if you were to self-analyze, and I know you would, where do you feel it kind of went a little sideways?
It was a weird transition.
Well, closing, right? You everything was excellent, right? But when she said she was interested in the business and open to it,
yeah,
boop, lights out. Done. Your job, that's your job's done. Let's talk about the options. Let's talk about the way to get you guys started, set you up for success. right?
Right.
What I do is say, or what I would have done is say, hey, Barry, have you sent that quick enrollment form over to Diane so we can kind of go over that and try to figure out which option is going to be best for her,
Okay.
right? Start putting them right on the option. I do like you shared something else that kind of like drove it home a little bit more. That's fine, as long as you still, and you started saying, hey, let's get the information. But remember to hang in there. Let's get that quick enrollment form. Okay, look at that quick enrollment form and start walking through. So
Right.
if you're looking at that quick enrollment form, the business builder packs, those are the ones that are going to maximize your compensation plan. That's what we did. That's what's been able to send us on the cruises. That's what we did. Obviously, you're going to do it. But you start walking down those steps, right? So as soon as she said that, I check with I tell the connector and say, hey, have you already texted her that quick enrollment form? And then obviously I would chime in and say, yep, I sent it to her. You should have it now. Take a look, and then you start walking through those steps. Once she said that, your job is done. You had her sold. She loved everything. She opened up a couple doors for you. I thought the connecting, she was open to the possibility. You did a good job of sharing the story, the product. She appreciated the value. You got her talking about her grandbabies. One of the things, like she kept going back to her grandbabies too. So what I would have done, right, is I would have said, listen, Diane, it sounded like you would love to spend more time with those grandbabies. Let's talk about how we can do that, right? Use
Right.
that, because her grandbabies were her point of, she kept taking you back to that. So that's obviously one of the reasons she's looking at this. She's already working at home, but she would like to spend more time with those grandbabies or do more for them. So I would have used that even more.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, you do well at this business, there's a lot you can do for your family, right? Good job though, Meg. Yeah, a little practice closing. I think you're there. So we've got Stacy and Margaret, and you two know each other well.
Hey,
Yes.
Margaret.
Did one of you sponsor one another?
Stacy sponsored me.
Oh, she did. Okay, well, let's mix it up a little bit, because I know sometimes you'll be a little bit comfortable. Let's go with so Stacy sponsored Margaret. Well, how about Margaret? You're going to be my leader. Stacy's going to be my prospect.
Okay.
Now you're in trouble, because your leader's going to be a little tough on you, because they want you to be good, right?
No, I'm going to have mercy.
Paybacks, right? That's right.
Okay.
So Margaret, you're going to be my leader.
Okay.
And Stacy's going to be my prospect.
Okay.
And so very similar, right? That wasn't bad on the time either. Megan, just for your records, that was just over 11 minutes, right? So that's not bad, right? Good job of forming, and you went all the way down to walking through a next step. So before we get started, Stacy, do you have any questions? You ready to
Do
rip?
I, as the
Yes, ma'am.
prospect? I think I'm okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, Stacy's gonna be the prospect. Margaret's gonna be you're gonna be my leader.
Okay.
Role reversal. All right, Margaret, you ready?
Yes. So I'm just waiting for you to connect us, right?
That's right. You're gonna be my leader. I'm gonna edify you, and then I'll introduce you to Stacy. Okay.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Ring, ring. Stacy's answering.
Hello. Sorry.
That's okay.
Give me
Stacy,
one job.
Stacy, how are you this evening?
Hey, Barry. I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Listen, thanks again for taking this call. As I said earlier, I'm really excited to share this with you and Brent, and what it's done for Crystal and myself, and our life is far surpassed what we even anticipated. And I just know the quality of people you are, and I'm excited to share this with you. And I think you'll see it. You'll see the reasons why in a couple minutes. And as I mentioned, I was going to have some leadership on the call. I have my dear friend Margaret, who's a leader on a team. She's having a lot of success here, and I wanted to bring her on to give you that perspective and give you, let you hear from someone that's having real success today. So so you can see what that looks like on the other side, and she's better qualified to answer questions as they might manifest yourself. Margaret, this is Stacy. She's out in Austin, which I know is in the same state. Y'all are both in the Lone Star State, so not a whole lot of not a different state abbreviation between the two of you, but I'm excited for you two to connect. Margaret is Stacy. Stacy is Margaret.
Okay. Hi, Stacy.
Hi,
How are
Margaret.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, so you're located in Austin. Is that correct?
I am in Austin, yes.
Okay. Great place. I lived there for 16 years.
Well, we really like it. We've been here for about 20 years now. So after living in the military and moving quite a bit, I think we've called this home now.
Well, good. Well, tell me something more about yourself. Do you work outside the home right now, or you stay at home? Go ahead.
I'm not actually working outside of the home right at the moment. I'm kind of in a transition, to be honest. My husband and I are new empty nesters, and we've got adult kids who have grandchildren. So we're kind of in the process of looking for something to do as a ministry in this next season.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I'm an empty nester also. I only have one daughter. She got married last April, and kind of the same, that's the same thing that kind of brought me to Viseo. Just wanted something to do. I've always been interested in health, and so I was very, very interested when my friend told me about these products, and then the opportunity also. So, so did you get a chance to watch the video?
I actually did. It was quite fascinating.
Well, what resonated most with you about that video?
Honestly, that technology that they kept talking about was really intriguing to me, because we've taken lots of supplements throughout the last several years for different things, and it kind of made me think why we may not have had a lot of benefits from the different things that we've taken before. So that's very interesting. I would love to know more about that and kind of how it works.
All right. Yes, the liposomal technology is what makes these products so disruptive, and that also struck a chord with me, because so many of the products I think that we take out there, we're not absorbing fully, and that is what I love about the liposomal. Which so you watched the video, but you want to know a little bit more about that, about how it works.
Well, yeah, just the products and kind of as far as what you guys have in these products and why they're different from something I may have taken somewhere else.
So liposomal technology is something that Big Pharma was using, I think, for many, many years. And when the patent wore off or went away on that, the founder of this company started using liposomal technology in our products. And what it does is it coats the ingredients, the nutrients in bubble spheres. And so the body recognizes it, goes directly into the cells. So your body absorbs it at maybe 80 to 90% absorbency rather than 30 to 40%. So it really it's very effective. It's very potent. It makes all the products just very, very efficient, and they work very well in your body. So is that the part that interests you most? Are you interested at all in the business part of this?
I would like to maybe know more about it, but really right now the products are something that I'm actually looking for. As I had said before, we have had some health challenges in the past and taken a lot of different name brands, at Whole Foods or different places that haven't really given us much benefit. So based off what the video and what you're saying, the technology and how it works, I think this is something that may be, helpful for us.
Okay, so what are the products that interest you the most and for your health challenges?
Probably, I don't know, probably energy. My husband really has a hard time focusing at work. I don't know.
Well, we have some great products. The Neuro is an excellent product for cognition, for improved cognition and mental clarity and focus. I know it has helped me tremendously. It's helped my husband. I tend to have, I went to college and got my master's and everything, but I think I've always had ADD type behaviors. And so the Neuro has helped me tremendously. I have really, really noticed a difference. And my daughter also, I think she inherited that from me, and it's done wonders for her. And my husband has a high stress job. He travels a lot, and he feels like the Neuro helps him also in that area. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going totally.
All right, good. Let's jump out here. So where do you feel like you went sideways?
Well, I was talking about products, and then I kind of asked her how about she felt about the business, but then I didn't know how to like.
That's okay. Well, so
go just to the products, or should I push the business, or kind of?
Well, she kind of opened the door for you. You just didn't go inside, right? So
Okay.
she's like, man, this technology really interests me. My reply to that would have been, I know it's super exciting to be a part of, isn't it? When I saw that, I got excited too, because I saw that and the light bulb went off. It's really cool to be a part of, right? So you're placing excitement automatically, not just on the the product itself, but the opportunity. And I know with the liposomal advantage, they started talking about specific products, so it wasn't exactly aligning with the video. But I would have said it sounds exciting, right? That's what I saw when I saw liposomal advantage, or when I saw that liposome. It just clicked. I was like, oh, they finally found that out. She was very intrigued in that. So I would have said, look, you're intrigued in that, so you can understand the value. Then she gave you another one, right? They had health challenges in the past. I'd have been
Right.
like, oh, really? Is that something you care to divulge? What happened? What did you guys deal with, and how did you overcome it? Right.
Right.
All of those. And then she said that she did so by using and supplementing and doing a lot of things, right? So all of whatever she tells you is going to give you something you can leverage, right? She's going to tell you about, what we did was we started eating clean. We started doing, taking this supplement. We can tell us, look, we've got that in one of our supplements or something that's going to far surpass it. So you obviously see the value in what we have. Let's talk about how you can benefit from what we have and help others that may be in your same situation, right? So don't get too caught up in the specific products, right? One of the things that and trust me, we see it all the time, like for you and your daughter, there's been a product that's made a significant impact. That's awesome. That's what makes us a company. But if you're talking to someone that's never had ADD or ADHD, they're not going to have the same level of appreciation. They might just be 400 pounds and need to lose 100, right? So we got to hit them where they are from a product or from a value standpoint. Oftentimes us just sharing specific about a product that's benefiting somebody somewhere in our family, it's not going to relate to a perfect stranger. It will to a friend, right? For your friends want to hear about how something's benefited you, but we're talking to people that have never known us before, right? And so, but that's okay.
What would you do, Barry? What would you do in that case? I mean, I guess for my own benefit, how would you redirect that?
Okay, so we were family relatability, empty nesters. So let's jump in right at the video, or when you were saying. So tell me what you liked most about that video, Stacy.
Well, I was really intrigued by the technology, and it seems to be a lot different than anything I've ever known. And because of the way the video explained how it works in the body, it seems like that's kind of a game changer with things that we've taken in the past and maybe not having any benefit.
Boom, mic drop. You should be our new spokesperson, Stacy. You know what? You see it. You see the same thing that I saw. It's exciting to be a part of, because when I saw that, that's what I said. The light bulb went off. My little hamster started running on his wheel in my head. My wheel started turning. because it's exciting. You see that as finally something that's going to bring value to the marketplace. It's exciting to be a part of. That's exactly what I saw, Stacy. So that's awesome that you picked up on it. It sounds like you guys have had you've sampled with supplements, or you've attempted supplementation in the past.
Yes, we have used a lot of different supplements from a lot of different companies, not with
Awesome.
great benefit.
Good. So, well, you know what? You've obviously had the right intentions. You just didn't receive the right value. The simple fact, that simple reason, or that your story specifically, Stacy, is exactly why we are setting the world on fire. We've broken every record that's ever existed in this industry before because of that simple fact. People have tried, doctors have recommended, family members have recommended that they try something, but they're not getting the value that they intended to by making that purchase, right? Times are changing. Now we have something that you're going to get that value you intended, right? It's exciting. Like I said, it's exciting to be a part of, right? So you obviously have an appreciation for what we have our hands on here, Stacy. It sounds like, you're at the same place where I think that many people are. There's an awakening that's happening right now. We're pushing that envelope because we have something that's going to give people that value, right? And we're looking for people just like you. You have an appreciation for what we're about. You have an understanding for what makes us different in the market, right? So we need people like you to help us get out there and find other people just like you. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like some supplements I'd want to get in my body.
Well, absolutely. And let's talk about how not only we can get them in your body, let's get them in your family's body, and let's help you make some money doing so. Right? You had mentioned that you're in a transition. What better transition than to do something that's going to benefit you and your family first and foremost? It's going to benefit your household, and then it's going to benefit the household that you would like to put it in as well. Sounds like you guys were looking for ministry. What better ministry than to get out there and help people, not just in spirit, but also in body.
That's powerful. Yeah.
That's good.
Awesome.
That's
good. Let's go do this, lady. Austin, Texas is a cool spot. We'll come out there. We'll blow it up. We'll have some breakfast tacos. Sound like a winner? So
you know what's up.
That's right. So I mean, it's an easy redirect, right? It's exciting. You see the value. I'm playing to that, right? I didn't tell you what brings the value. You told me, right? You sold me on what our company is about. I didn't have to tell you. The video did the work. The tools did it. I'm just hammering it home. So
okay, everything Barry just said will count for what I just was supposed to say. Okay.
Exactly.
It's called leverage.
That's right.
Margaret just leveraged you, Barry.
Hey, it's right. And you know what? It's when you use the tools that we have, most of your job's done, right? All we're doing is we're connecting with someone, and we're looking for those opportunities that our tools are going to give us, right? The questions, the way we ask our questions, the way we frame it, the tools that we have, right? The videos, the documents, whatever. They do a lot of the heavy lifting. We just have to find out, okay, what resonated with them. And then that was pretty easy. She saw the value just like that. All right, so let's have Stacy. You can be my leader now, and let's have we have Diane and Megan. Who wants to? Well, Megan, you can be a prospect this time. How's that sound?
Good.
Sure. All right, good. You can be a prospect now, so you don't have to be nervous. All right, Stacy, you can knock it out of the park here, okay?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm calling Megan. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Megan, what is happening?
Hey Barry, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. How is the little Ismeister?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, she's a monster.
Nah, she's the cute one.
She's
the cute one. So Megan, again, I really appreciate you taking the time this evening to take a look at something. And I'm super excited to be sharing with you guys this evening. And as I mentioned, I was going to have leadership on the call. So I have a good friend of mine. She's a rock star. She's knocking it out of the park in this company. And so I wanted you to get that perspective. I want you to hear from someone that's having real success today, so you can see what that looks like, and hear from someone that's obviously going to be better qualified to answer some of your questions should they come up. And Stacy, this is a good friend of mine. Her and her husband, this is Megan, and her and her husband, they live in Jacksonville. She's a veterinarian. She's awesome. I've actually seen her save a bird that was tangled up in a line at one time. She never turns it off. I think she's once you're an animal saver, you just never turn off. We're literally on a vacation on a cruise, and she saves a bird. So she's that kind of person. So you can see why I'm excited to share this with her. But Megan, this is Stacy. She's again, like I said, she's a rock star. She's a leader. Her and her husband live out there in Austin, and she will knock it out of the park here for us. So Stacy, this is Megan. Megan, this is Stacy.
Hi, Megan.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's just a little hectic around here.
Well, I just wanted to thank Barry for that great introduction. I don't know if I can live up to all that, but I appreciate that, Barry. And just so you know, Megan, you came highly recommended. Barry thinks a lot about you and your family. So any friend of Barry's is a friend of mine. I wanted to ask you, though, Barry mentioned that you're a veterinarian, you're married. Do you guys have children?
Yes, hence the hectic comment. I've got 3 little ones. Well, not so little anymore. I got a 12-year-old, almost 13, a 10-year-old, and a 3, almost 4-year-old. And
wow.
It's around the house all the time.
It sounds like it. And so how do you fit being a veterinarian into that?
Right now, I'm not. I did for many, many years, and struggled with it quite a bit because I really, really wanted to be home with my kids. And right now I am home with my kids, but I worry because my husband works a lot, and I worry about all the pressure, the extra pressure on him. He always has pressure, but we decided this is what's best for our family. So I am home right now.
Wow, that's awesome. I was actually blessed to be able to stay at home with my daughters. My husband and I, he worked full-time, provided well for us, and I homeschooled our daughters through high school. So I understand what that means to be at home with children. It's trying, but it's also very rewarding.
No, it's the best. I love it. And I'm homeschooling mine as well, at least partially.
That's awesome. It was the biggest blessing for me as a mom, and there's going to be days that you probably want to throw in the towel. If you haven't already figured that out, you probably will. But I would not trade that for anything. It was some of the best memories that I had with my daughters.
Right. I agree with both of those sentiments. It's my favorite thing ever, but some days are there are some days with tears.
Oh. Well, so Barry had sent you a video as far as before I came on the call. Tell me what you liked best. Did you have a chance to watch that?
I did. It's really interesting. Me with a medical background and my husband with a more holistic background. I guess I have both, but the liposomes are really interesting to me. I wasn't really all that familiar with them, but I know they have existed in medicine, but it's really cool to see that in the natural setting. My husband and I kind of we kind of walk that walk. We eat super clean, and we try to avoid pharmaceuticals as much as we can. So it's really cool idea to have that as an option for getting, healthy nutrients into our bodies. It's pretty fascinating to me and very interesting to me.
Well, I'm sure that you probably understand more about it than I did when I first learned about it. My husband and I, being empty nesters, actually were introduced to this company and the products by some friends of ours who are nutritionists. And we were actually looking for something at the time me not working and him working full-time, not wanting to work until he's 75, we were actually looking for something. And the technology with these products that we have brought us a higher quality of nutrition that we had been lacking in a lot of the things that we had been taking prior for different health concerns that we'd both had. And the opportunity to do this as a business and earn some extra money is also something that we had been looking for. And I know that you mentioned being a veterinarian, you kind of had to step back to care for your children, but yet you still worry about the stress that working full-time puts on your husband. So is there anything about this that you would be interested in as far as a business opportunity too? If I were able to show you how you could make some extra money while using the products to get healthier, is that something you'd be interested in?
Doesn't sound like a bad deal. I mean, yeah, I mean, the products really speak to me and my husband. So, you know, it's never a bad idea to make money on the side. I'd love to know how. You know, with 3 little ones at home, it's taking anything else on my plate sounds a little scary to me, but but extra money coming in sounds really nice. I gotta be honest.
Well, the cool thing about this company and the team that we have in Ucrew Nation is that we leverage our leadership and our team members. So Barry, being a mutual friend of ours, and his wife Crystal, I know that they would be more than happy to link arms with you guys, as would my husband and I, and we would be more than happy to help you guys, show you how to incorporate the products into your family, as well as learn more about the business. Is that something you would want to get started on today?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be really eager to learn more about it for sure, and I'd of course want my husband to learn more about it as well. You know, it's something I think it's worthwhile looking into. I don't know. I'd have to know more before I could, I think, jump in, to be quite honest. But it's definitely something I think we would both be open to. It's never bad to have another stream of income.
So it sounds like, Barry, if you're there, we could send Megan the enrollment form, and she can at least get enrolled. We can get her a position, and we can discuss what products they may want to get started on, and then send them any other information that they may want as far as the business opportunity.
Absolutely. I just sent her the quick enrollment form. She should actually have that now, and I sent it to you in a text message, Megan.
Okay. I can pull it up here.
So that's where I would say, what do I do next?
Okay, good. We'll jump out. So what I would do simply is, like, look, mate, I would have gone back a little bit. So let's go back. So she said that, look, you know, she's staying home with her kids. There's added financial pressure, but she wanted to be home with her kids. And you've already done that. You've actually done that to the point, to the ultimate success, right? Your kids are gone, right? So what I would have said is, Megan, look, you're talking to someone that was in your same shoes. And because of an opportunity like this, my children are gone now. So we did exactly what you are intending to do. What you're just starting out to do, I have done, to the point where all my children are now grown and gone. So let's talk about how I did it. I did it by saying yes to an opportunity like this. My husband and I, you know, were able to do this. I was able to be there for my kids. We were able to travel with them, and now they're gone. You know, we completed our mission. So let's talk about how we can do the same for you. Right?
So where would you have said that? Backing up, and what did I say, and where would you have said that?
Right.
I said?
Right after she said it, that, you know, it just adds some financial pressure. She goes, I wanted to be home. This is what I love to do. And you nailed it. It's like, look, that's what I did. I stayed home with my kids, and my husband, you know, we provided, but I would have said, look, and because of opportunity just like this, because we said yes to this industry, we did just that. So
Okay.
I've been exactly where you are today, Megan. I was there. That's me 14, 15 years ago, when my daughter the youngest was 4 or whatever, right? You say, that was me. And because I said yes to this, this is what it's done for me, right? And that's what
like
that's what I
that.
would have done, right? She had a value. She had an appreciation for the products.
Mm-hmm.
She all of those boxes were checked. Obviously, with her husband being in the field, the only other thing you could have done is like, look, your husband has an appreciation and understanding for holistic medicine. Let's have him take a look. That would have been the next step when she uses that one right there. Especially, not everybody you're going to talk to has a husband that's a doctor, but when you do, it's a look. Let's plan that follow-up call, right?
So you would have done that as opposed to me trying to get her enrolled in products?
No, yeah, I would have got her enrolled, but I would have used that first, right? Let's talk about Megan. Look, and I'll keep it honest with you, man. Look, this is our enrollment form. The value packs or the business builder packs, those are the ones that I want to talk to you about today, because you want to be home with your kids and you want to take that financial pressure off. That's how it's best accomplished.
Okay.
Right. As you can see, there are many other options that we could talk about, but I want to talk to you about the best one for you. Right. And that's how it
said. Yeah.
Based off of what she said. Right. But I did think that you had a good pitch and your posture was strong whenever you did pitch the opportunities. So it sounds like, a couple boxes were checked. You did pitch it. I would have just done it right when I would have leveraged, like it was perfect, right? You, empty nester, stayed home with your kids. You've accomplished exactly what she's setting out to do. That was a slam dunk, right?
Okay.
So it'd have been that's where I would have ran with that. But you did ask for the quick enrollment form, and then I would have walked right down that quick enrollment and said, look, Megan, this is what I'm going to talk about with you. I'm just keeping it real. Look, what you want to accomplish, this is where you want to be, right? And let's talk about how we can get out there and get your money back.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess my thing, Barry, and as I'm listening to what you're saying, you don't necessarily have to go through all these steps that we discussed in the very beginning. If they indicate to you right away that they're ready to go from A to Z, you don't have to do all the middle stuff. You just get right to the point.
Well, you can. I mean, obviously, you don't have to give her your entire story going all the way back, but the relatability of your story.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
When she gives you, because your stories were so relatable, I would have just went, look, let me show you exactly what we did to do exactly what you're attempting to do. You're starting to do right now.
Okay.
Right? So, but yeah, and you still did. You just condensed it. You left all of the stuff out that won't necessarily relate and just went with what will, right? And obviously she gave you exactly where she was at. Her pain points were, look, the challenges right now, or she's worrying about, the added pressures to him. Let's show you how we can release those added pressures and give you exactly what you're wanting right now in life. So we've got Diane. Diane, you're gonna be my leader, and we'll have Margaret be my prospect. How's that sound?
Barry, can I ask you a question quick?
Yes.
Sorry. I just want to backtrack only because I know that I would probably be the absolute worst prospect ever on the phone. And I want to know how to deal with that. So, the way Stacy went, it was perfect. Like she did. She was very convincing, but I also know, me personally, I never would have committed to anything without talking to Sebastian.
Yes.
Of course. And I would have said, look, here's the quick enrollment form. Let's get is your husband busy right now? Let's talk to him. Or let's plan that follow-up, And so, and I probably would have even gone as far, again, because I've been doing this long enough and I have the confidence that I said, listen, Megan, I really would love to talk to your husband, because it sounds like he was very supportive of you guys making the change that you just made. So he should be even more supportive of how we can make this situation work, right? This is an answer to what you guys were attempting to do. This is something that is built perfectly for what you guys want to accomplish as a family. So I would love to talk to him, man. I'm excited to see his feedback. Obviously, the products are going to make a lot of sense to him because what you guys said you stand for from a nutritional standpoint, and he's a holistic doc. He practices in a realm. He'll have an appreciation for what we are. It sounds like it's going to be, he's already behind you taking this next step. So let's do that. Right. But do me a favor, Megan. Let's make sure that we do it in the same fashion, where it's not you telling him all of the things that you're excited about. let's give it some guided a presentation, if you will, where we can answer his questions, because you guys might be on the same page as a family, but he's on a different page as a professional, right? He's a chiro, so his questions are going to be different. So if you would do me the honor of letting us do a presentation with him, you and him together. Does that sound okay? All right. You want to do something like that? Ask for that. So the next step is going to be, hey, we're going to do one with him as well.
Because I find a lot of them fall apart when they're like, oh, I need to talk to my husband or my significant other or whatever. And that's good. That sets it up really well. Like
right.
That.
Yep. You're going to deal with that. And the best approach, obviously, I don't like to say to get pushy. Hey, look, he was supportive of you looking at this and staying home. I think the best approach, include them in that decision, let them see the value, and they're going to see your excitement as well. Right. So yeah, have them be a part of it.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Diane, you ready?
I hope so.
All right, we're gonna have Margaret. You can be my prospect. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. So Margaret's my prospect. Diane, you're gonna be my leader up there in North Carolina. All right, you ready? Diane, you're answering. Ring, ring. Or Margaret, you're answering. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Margaret. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Lynn, I wanted to thank you again for taking the time to take a look at something I'm super excited about. I'm really glad to be able to share this with you. I know you guys, I've always thought highly of you guys out there in San Antonio. As I had mentioned, I was going to have some leadership on the call because I wanted you to get that perspective. I wanted you to hear from someone that's having real success today. And so I have my friend Diane. She's a mentor. She's our team leader. She's built a great team. She's up in Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay. And I wanted to connect her with you because she's better qualified to answer any questions you may have as you look at this amazing opportunity that has gone wildly more successful for us than I ever imagined. So Diane, this is my good friend Margaret out there in San Antonio. And Margaret, this is Diane.
Okay. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Margaret. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
Okay, I'm excited to talk to you today and share a little bit about our company and our products.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Well, so tell me a little bit about yourself, where you work or what you do.
Well, I'm a retired school teacher. I taught middle school for many years, and then I retired and I became a yoga instructor. And so I've been doing private and studio yoga teaching for probably the last 10 years, and then just recently stopped doing that, and am now into Pilates, trying to get stronger.
Wow, I'm impressed. That's pretty good. So if you're into yoga and Pilates and excuse me, things like that, sounds like you like to live the healthy lifestyle.
Well, I kind of came into that because I felt like I had to become my own health advocate years ago. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and my doctor put me on a bunch of medication that I had really bad side effects. Couldn't sleep, lost a lot of weight, just wasn't good. And then I just realized that you just can't be sure always how your body's going to react. So I started researching alternative methods to getting well. And so that's what actually drove me to yoga and to eating healthy and to taking supplements to improve my health.
Wow. Well, let me just tell you, I've got so much to tell you about the products, but first I want to ask, were you able to watch the video on the liposomal technology that I sent you?
Yes, I was.
Who sent you?
Megan.
Were you able to watch that video?
I did. I watched it. It was great.
Awesome.
It was interesting.
Oh, that's wonderful. So tell me, what did you like the best about it?
Just learning more about the technology of how your products work and why they're so effective.
Okay. So the thing that impressed you the most was the science behind it. You think the technology of it?
Well, just that they're very effective, and I think a lot of supplements out there today are not. And so it just appeals to me that you can take something and maybe get a lot more benefit from it than other products I've been taking.
Well, so you were talking about you have fibromyalgia and you couldn't sleep sometimes and things like that. With the liposomal technology, we've got a product that it's called Sleep, actually. And with the liposomal technology added in with the product of the Sleep product, we've got great results with people that can't sleep and stay asleep. And so that's just one of the products that we have. We also have different products that help with the antioxidants and the immune system that have got great results with the fibromyalgia. So I feel really confident that our products are going to have value to what you're searching for.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to try them.
Well, I tell you what. Hey, Barry, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Would you go further deep into the product since she mentioned things, or would you just go on with the story, with your story?
No, what? So if you're asking me what I would, when she told me that she became her own health advocate and she started with yoga, I would have said, awesome. So tell me what happened. You know, you got into yoga. Obviously, you look healthy through the phone here right now. So give me, you know, what happened. And then she obviously has a distrust for traditional medicine. Yoga has done her well, and I would have simply went with. So it sounds like you understand that there are much better ways to heal your body than traditional medicine.
Okay.
Right? And then I would have brushed right. Once she tells me yes, I would have just used that to the hilt and say, you're absolutely right. And we have that answer. I now have seen countless numbers of stories, and I would have went through that. She's already open to try the products. Now, where you guys are, you went through the video, the products are what really jumped out at her. What I would have then done if I was at that spot, right? If you got to that spot and the products were the only thing to say, look, obviously you became your own health advocate in the past, Margaret. And I'll be honest, what we're looking for is people like you that have become their own health advocate out there. And you did so. And then guess what? You became a yoga instructor so you could help other people. And what we're looking for is people to do the same thing, right? We want to get these products in you and your family's body, and it's going to make a difference. And then just like you did last time, when you found something that worked, you shared it with other people. So it sounds like it's a perfect fit.
So
right?
when she says, like, when you say something like that, then you could say, do you want to say, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, or, you know, are you ready to enroll right now? And, or, you know, do you still have further questions, that kind of thing? Or did you?
I don't know if you feel like you haven't connected, like, I would have tried to get a little bit more of a connection between a company and her, right? And I would have, like I said, the yoga, like she obviously found value in yoga personally. She took it and made it a profession, right? So she took something that worked for her. She shared it with other people. Listen, Margaret, you know what you've done in the past where you found a value in something and you shared it with other people, that's exactly what we're doing. So it sounds like we align ourselves with what you're interested in our products, which there's an alignment there. And last time that you went down this path, you were so strongly you were so strongly moved by your results that you wanted to share it with other people. That's exactly what we do here, Margaret. So I'm grateful to be talking to you today because this sounds like it's a wonderful fit. You've already done it in the past. Let's talk about those next steps. All right? And then you can talk about, hey, look, if you want to try the products today, I get it. Look, you can still come in with one of our business builder packs. It's a 30-day money back guarantee. You know?
Okay.
But she's already done exactly what this business is about, right? She found something that worked for her, and then she went out and shared it with other folks. Became a yoga instructor.
That's why Stacy got me really pretty quickly, because I was like all about it. It was like she told me, and I'm like, I'm in. Sounds like what I, so
That's right. Yeah, it's a perfect fit for someone like that, right? You look for the overall purpose of these connect calls, right? We want to form a connection, not necessarily of us, but our opportunity, our products, right? We want to form a connection between what we are as a profession, what we are as a company with our prospect. And I saw a couple right there, right? Already, it's a great fit for her. She's already done it in the past. And if she was a retired teacher, something that I can give you for that, if you're a retired teacher, so you understand, let me tell you something about how well teachers do in this business, right? Teachers know how to disseminate information, and that's all we do, right? We basically give information to someone and share it. We're not necessarily the source of the information. We divulge the information and we help people understand it. That is exactly what we do, right? So it's a perfect fit for a teacher or former teacher. So there's many different things that you could have done with that, Diane. Yoga instructors lead people, right? You lead a group of people in a class, so you're familiar with leading people. There's a million. I would have that connect call would have taken me about 7 minutes.
Wow.
She gave you 4 or 5 different things, and that you could use in this right off the rip.
I want to be like you.
I do too.
Listen, you know what? You all will be. You do this for a couple years. You do several thousand connects, and then now I've probably done a couple hundred connect call trainings. It becomes second nature. You see all of these things. You recognize them.
I think for me, I can just sit here as we've gone through this with each scenario. For me, I guess, you gave the bullet points initially. So my thing would be, you can latch on to something that somebody says, like they're either into health or they love the technology, like Megan's a veterinarian. She's already familiar with it. So that's all great. But how far do you go into the bullet points before you know what I'm saying, as far as the relatability and connecting with people? Like, you could make it a 2-minute call, but then you're going to be like salesy, right? So I guess that's what I'm struggling with. Kind of, how do you?
Well, mind you, this is a little different too, right? It's significantly different. What if I got Diane on the phone and Margaret's my prospect and say, "Hey, Diane, how are you? This is Margaret. Margaret, this is Diane." That was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was done in my edification, right? I edified. I built some rapport. I built some of that up. So a lot of those points are somewhat done. I've already formed somewhat of a connection between the two, relatability over the top. So you've got to be ready with those bullet points when someone doesn't edify you well, because that's what you're going to get a lot of early on, right?
Okay.
You may have already dealt with that early on.
People are going to forget.
When you get a good solid, when you get a decent edification, that kind of sets the foundation better for you. So I trust me, I've done a lot of them where that was the actual introduction, and you're like, oh crap, this is going to be 45. this is going to be 45 minutes. And this was a person that was completely turned off to the concept. They were like, oh, this is some scam. So they're like, yeah, I just wanted to take the call and figure out how this scam works. And I'm like, oh. All right, so let's go through this. And when you turn those into a prospect, or you turn them into someone that purchases products or becomes then you're the person that didn't edify you is on fire, right? They're like, wow, this really works. Then you have to tell them they need to edify, or you're not doing another call for them. But it's once you've done that a few times, you'll see why the value in those bullet points are, right? You want to do those things and follow those steps, because it does happen, right?
Do you have several of those recorded? Because it just seems like hearing you speak really helps to how to train your brain to look for those points.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of recording. I've probably got 15 or 20 of them that are recorded on there. Sarge has them all in the library for Euchre Nation. I don't know if she puts them all up there, but there's a bunch.
That would be great.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. But at the end of the day, and I know we've got one coming up at 9:30 on this line. But at the end of the day, it's about forming a connection. You want to have your third eye on in that phone conversation, which is looking for that relatability, looking for the value. Every one of these things had many of them all over it, right? And practice will help you to identify those, right? If you connect with someone that was a manager at any level, right? Oh, so you have experience managing people. Boom, there's a value proposition. That's all you have to do. A school teacher, you taught children, you took information and you were better disseminating information. You were helping kids get information. That's what we do, right? Yoga instructor, or, oh, you're going through a transition. You just came home. You want to stay home with your kids. Boom, here's a home-based business that gets better over time. What's another one? Oh, empty nester. That was health challenges in one. Someone, Stacy, had health challenges in hers. All of these things are what I call door openers. Practice, practice, practice. Megan, you did great. I think, Megan, the only thing you may want to practice one more time on the on closing, but everything informing and everything else, you did good. Just get that. Well, one thing, Megan, if I could tell you this, when you're doing a connect for your team,
Mm-hmm.
when you seem like you're organized and you're going to write something down, you're going to probably write the person's name down on that sheet of paper. Right above that person's name, I'm home with my kids, right? So you look at that, right? So don't think that you're going to get salesy when you ask them for that sale, and you're like, look, I'm home with my kids because of this opportunity. Put that reminder as to why. So when they give you that, look, I'm interested in a business, you're going to give them say, listen, this is what it's done for me, right? Put that note there. So put that little reminder. So that'll help you push through and get that closing. So we got a little bit more practicing, and obviously all of you ladies were very good at forming. You know how to form the conversations very well. Diane, you did good. You got all the way through the video. The products, talking a lot about the products with folks is going to get you a product user, maybe. You know what I mean? And what I've learned in this industry is you always want to lead with the business. You can obviously backtrack down to the products, but you don't want anyone to feel slighted, like you didn't think highly of enough of them to present the business first, where they could possibly have the chance of earning, right? Because you want to be thought of as someone that possibly could. Now, if you specifically say, look, man, I'm currently involved in another company. I can't have a distributorship, but I'd love to try your CBD cream, right? Obviously, hey, you're going to have a product person on your hands. Still, they're going to have specific questions, but dive into it. Again, it's about forming connection with that person and our company.
Okay.
So there's going to be exceptions at all times. All right, ladies, we will get some more practice, and I'll give all the notes over to Sarge for everyone. But good stuff. I think all of you are closer. And then look, practice, 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 practice. Right. This profession is better done by doing than it is by observing. Right. Mm-hmm. It's always better by doing. So. Do it up.
Thank you for your time, Barry. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
You all are very welcome. Keep it up.
Yes, you did great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.